Yo, it's Peter Elgar again from darkest Brentwood. Well, it's fairly good daylight at the moment, otherwise I wouldn't be able to video. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Here is a borrowed camera. It's not one that I was given for a change, because I do get given some wonderful treasures. But here is a Russian, genuine Russian one, not the export version. It's a genuine Russian Zorki 4. Now, I've never had one of these. It's a rangefinder camera, so we're going to go through it, and this is how it came, but I have some other accessories which I've been able to use with it, and some other lenses. So we'll go straight into it, because I don't believe in waffling on. Here is the lens, which is a 50mm, unlike the Fed, which is a 53, this is a 50mm or 5cm, 2.8. I think that's the Industar, because it's all in Russian. I didn't do Russian at ordinary level. I only did Latin and French. But that looks like Industar to me. And it's a L39 thread, 39mm thread. And you unscrew it like that. Now you find this is the rangefinder cam here. And when you screw a lens on, that pushes against that rangefinder cam, and inside here it works the rangefinder mechanism for your distance focusing. Now they say in the instructions, put it on with it on the closest focus position. So we rack it out to the closest focus position, which is there. There's no particular, I don't think there's any particular start thread, you just have to find the start. There we are, found it. Whack it on, and then you can focus it back. That's on the infinity position. Now on the lens, you've got your distance scale here from infinity, and this is a meters because it's a Russian, not the export version in feet, meters. It goes down to 1 meter, or M for meters. Here we have the depth of field scale, and here we have an aperture setting, and it goes to 2.8 against the index here to f22. Now I have taken pictures, but I've never used these smaller apertures yet because the light wasn't terrific, so I've only used it between 4 and 5.6 and thereabouts. I didn't use the small apertures. But just to tell you again, if you set your lens to 5.6 and you are focused, say for 4 meters away here, that's 4 meters. You look this side where 5.6 comes, and that comes down to almost 7 meters, at 6.5 meters there. And you look down it, and it goes to 3 meters that side. So that is the depth of field, or the zone of acceptably sharp focus that your photographs will show at normal degrees of enlargement. So that is the depth of field scale. On the top we've got an accessory shoe. They're not electric, remember, it's all manual clockwork mechanism, so there's no electric in it, so you don't get a hot shoe, it's only a cold shoe. Here we have the winder for the film one. You must wind it on gently like this, several turns. There's no lever wind, in the direction of the arrow, and then you can fire the shutter. Now with the Russian cameras, you must remember, wind it first before you change the shutter speed, otherwise you can break it. And as this is not my camera, I'm careful, I've got to look after it. I've got it set to 125th, because that's where I was using, on 125th. You pull this up and you turn it, and you can drop it down into another shutter speed, which is not easy to do. I think that says a 15th of a second. There. Well, remember, whenever you do, wind it first. If you wind the delayed action, and you can break it. This is the delayed action here. It's nice and sweet. You push it this way round. Set it off. See if we can show you the action of the shutter. Oh, missed it. Well, we'll try it once more. I wanted to show you the action of the shutter going. It wasn't quick enough. Get some light in there. See if you can see the shutter move. Here we are. That's a delayed action. Now this control takes a standard cable release, and I've used that. These Russian symbols, one way is to use it normally, and the other way, it disengages the clutch for when you want to rewind your film. Now that is the direction for rewinding the film, because the shutter don't go now. I'll show you when I load the film. You keep turning that, it should come to a stop, but it hasn't come to a stop. So it is very old, and how old do you think it is? Well, on the back you've got a number, and the first two letters are the year of manufacture. That's 61, so it's made in 1961, this Russian camera. And here is the logo for the Russian factory where it's made. There's two different logos. Now I did have it in my computer somewhere which factory that means, but I can't remember now. It's a factory in Moscow anywhere. This is the viewfinder, and you can focus the view through the viewfinder with this little lever here. Because first of all, when I got it, I thought it was dreadful, out of focus. I read the instructions, and you push that lever and it jumps the viewfinder into focus. Now also, talking about this control, you have round the outside, you've got some other numbers which are for the flash synchronization. We have here tiny little, you've got to have good eyes, it's set to 0. But there's other ones like 25 and 20 and 15. These are the millisecond delays for flash bulbs. So when you don't want any delay for electronic flash, you have it set to 0, which is no delay. And then the flash synchronization is 1/30th of a second. So where's the 30th? It's round here. You've got to be very careful. You don't put this here control between 30th and 1 second, or you can break it. There's a 30th. You can bring it round that way. Read the instructions very carefully on Mr. Butkus' site, as I did. That's on the 30th now, and that's all correct, not damaged. I didn't damage my friend's camera. This is the rewind knob for rewinding your film. It was extremely stiff, so I must admit I did put a little bit of lubrication in that so that it's not stiff anymore. There's also on the front is a 3mm coaxial socket for your flash. It's flash synchronized. So that's about all the controls on the front. This the tiny little window is for the rangefinder spot, which you see in there. It's not very clear when you look through. Sometimes you could put a little colour thing over there and it will show the spot easier. So now we'll take off the base plate. It's a base loading, similar to these Leicas. You come off like this. There's keys here. You've got to turn them the right way to get the base plate off. No, that's eine Moment, as they say in German. Now, would you believe it? I can't remember which way off it. Oh, here we are. Yeah, that's done it. Good. So, this is the control for your film loading and the sprockets and the focal plane shutter. So when you wind it, it goes. There we are, look. You can see the light through the focal plane shutter opening. There we are, it's on a 30th of a second. Now, this is a detachable take-up spool. And to load it, you get your film and you have to turn this emulsion side out, and you have to push that into here, this little spring, like this. Comme ci, comme ça. just to show you that I did French at ordinary level. Now there's a little springy bit here, which on this camera is very worn. But you've got to make certain, if you can, that little springy bit goes into one of those holes. See, it's lost its spring. I had trouble loading it first of all, because it wouldn't go into one of those holes. And if it don't go into the holes, it falls out like that. It's dreadfully difficult to load when you haven't got that spring action. There. It should go into one of those little holes. I forget what I did now. I think I had to push that into one of the little holes. Make certain it went so it gripped. There, I think it's done. Then you push this on, pull out a little bit of film, push that on there. Make certain it starts onto the sprocket holes. Bring your film across. I'll pull out too much now. Tighten it up. See, it takes a long time. How the Russians did it at the siege of Berlin, while they were under fire with their Zorkis, I don't know. There, that's on the sprocket holes now. That famous photograph of the Russians raising the red flag on the Reichstag was also taken by a Russian photographer with a Zorki. Then you wind it, fire one. Yes, that is rewind knob is moving, so we're correctly loaded. Now how do you know how many photos you've taken? Well, you mustn't forget to set, once you've wound it, the frame counter. Now when I took the test photographs, I didn't actually set that because I forgot about it, but I couldn't see the index mark for setting it. I can't actually, at the moment, it's very difficult to find the index mark here where you've got to set, not unless it's in line with the screw. So you can't see an index mark to set the frame counter. Anyway, it's winding on. Yes, the film is winding lovely. So we'll keep that wound. I want to show you some other things because this is the standard lens that came with it, but I have fitted it with a turret viewfinder here, made in Germany. Now you can look through here now, you don't use that one, because I found with my other lenses I've got, none of them work with the rangefinder. They're all totally out. But here is a Russian lens, 39mm screw that I was given years ago. It's a Jupiter, all in Russian, 135mm f4, and you make certain, as I say, it's on racked out there. You screw that on. It's not easy to screw that on against that rangefinder cam. It does go after a bit of trouble. You do it gently to get the screw going in. The 135 lens is difficult to fit. I've also got a 35mm Stibel lens. Oh, we can fit the 35mm. This is the German lens. Here we are. I can get the thread straight away with that one. This is a Stibel Lineagon, 35mm, 3.5. Now, as I say, it doesn't work with the rangefinder. Well, so what you've got to do, you have to guess the distance or use a separate rangefinder. And you set your distance against this little index here. So here's the index. So that is now 8 feet, 2.5 meters. 10 feet, almost 3 meters. Look, 14 feet, 4 meters against the index there. So that's what I did. I guessed it. And in regards to setting the aperture, here is the aperture ring here, from 3.5 to f16, and that has the index in a different position. Yes, there's a little dot here, so you've got one index for the distance and a different index, which is this dot, for the aperture. So now that's on 5.6, and it's on, it's on 2.5 meters away. Now how do you frame it up with this? You've got to set the focal length in here by turning this until it peers in the window. That's 35 millimeters there. And then the other thing you've got to remember is parallax, because this is not the same position as your taking lens. But there's a little thing on the back here, so you focus up how far away you are. Say you're 2 meters away, and you turn that until 2 meters appears against the dot there. And when you frame it up through here, the thing is tilted slightly to allow for your parallax, so your snap comes out all correct. So that's the other lenses I've used with it. And this linear gun is really sharp. So if there's a 135 lens set in here, the 90, that's the one for 135 millimeter. See if we can fit the Russian lens, otherwise I don't want to take up all your time, folks, because you might want to go off and make yourself a nice cup of tea. Us Brits, we can't do anything without having a cup of tea. Look at that, would you believe it? I've done it all correctly. Light, it won't go on. It has gone on because I've taken pictures with it. But it's difficult fitting this 135mm lens. Would you believe it? Now, I think I've got it. Yes. Got it at last. There we are. Just gently screw. Now we can refocus now. There we are. The index for this one is this line here. So we got it on, say, 5 meters there. And the index for the aperture is this dot there. So that's now on 5.6. Now it's on f8. There we are. But you have to frame it up through here. Remember to allow for your parallax with the distance you're focusing there. So if you're on 4 meters on there, you put 4 meters there. A lot to remember. Stop down the lens, having done a meter with a separate hand meter, or guess it, and take your snap. And remember, you must never change the shutter speed unless you have it wound. And you must never set the delayed action without having it wound. Otherwise you can break these Russian cameras. But they are very sharp, and also they weigh a ton. So you can use them as a weapon, if you like, if you're getting mugged in the street. But anyway, folks, let's hope none of you do get mugged, and hope you've enjoyed this little rundown on the Russian Zorki I've got on loan. Watch some more of my videos, because I enjoy making them for you, and some of you actually enjoy watching them. Cheerio for now, folks.